Hey, what is up guys? How are we doing? And welcome back to another video. Now today we're finally reviewing that LG UC99 situated behind me. And it's a curved ultra-wide monitor with a resolution of 3840 by 1600. It's got FreeSync technology, it's IPS, it's 75Hz, but it's 38 inches across. This thing is absolutely huge. It's been great for productivity, it's been interesting for gaming, but is it actually worth your cash? Well, to answer that question, we first take a look at the design of the monitor, which I think looks really good, and I think LG pretty much nailed their design language, because it's modern, it's sleek, it looks good, but ultimately it will fit just as well into an office as it will into a gaming setup. And as that's pretty much the sort of people that are going to be buying this monitor, it's good that everyone is happy without having to resort to making it overly bland or making it too gamery. And moving down the monitor, you'll find that the stand is metal and it's sort of like a half circle. It keeps the whole thing propped up very nicely, but it does wobble a little bit on your desk. I think that's mainly just due to the fact that this is such a big monitor and it's quite heavy as well, so obviously you do have that limitation, but overly it's not really much of an issue at all. Now, the stand also does give you height adjust and tilt, which is the main adjustment you're going to need from your monitor. If it doesn't have that, it's pretty useless. There isn't any swivel though, so if you are using this in an office and you are closely working in a team and you want to quickly show your screen to someone sitting next to you, then they're going to have to get up. It's not really much of a big deal, but some of its competition does have that feature. Now, moving around the back of the monitor, you'll find that we have a lot of white here. And the cables are also white, which is worth noting. The ones I've got here are sort of stock cables, so do bear that one in mind. But port-wise, we've got USB Type-C. So if you're using something like the new MacBook, then this is going to be ideal. So new MacBook, MacBook Pro, or the Acer Swift 7 that I'm using here, plug it in via USB-C and you're going to charge and get a display output to your laptop at the full resolution up to 60 Hz. If you do want to drive this thing at its full 75 Hz refresh rate though, you will need to use DisplayPort. And you can do this with an AMD card or an Nvidia card, but if you do want to use the Adaptive Sync FreeSync technology, you will need to use an AMD card to get this to work. And the FreeSync range is only 52 to 75 Hz. I'd prefer if it was 40 to 75, but it's certainly going to be usable for people that do hook this up to an AMD equipped gaming graphics card. Now, if you do want to use this with a games console or something like that, you can plug in one of the two HDMI connections, both of which are HDMI 2.0. Now, moving over to the menu system, I think LG make the best menus out there. You have a single four-way selector underneath the front of the monitor, and then this is the way to quickly change input, change the volume. It's worth noting as well, if you have Bluetooth headphones or speakers, then this monitor can connect to those over Bluetooth, which is pretty cool. The menu systems pretty much have everything you would want here. You can adjust the image quality settings, you can turn FreeSync on and off, all of these things directly through the menu itself. It's worth noting that you can increase the responsiveness of the monitor, but this does increase a little bit of ghosting, I did notice, at its fastest setting. So if you do want to play games on this, then it's probably worth playing about in these settings. But overall, it's very easy to use, it's very easy to set up the way you want to, and I think LG makes some of the best monitor menus in the business. And so with that stuff all out of the way, what does this thing actually look like? What's the image quality like, and is this thing as good as it looks? And the short answer is yes, because I think this is probably the best looking display I've used to date. And the reason for this isn't down to a single thing. It's not because this thing has image quality that is way better than anything else I've used. It's not because it's more responsive than anything else. It's because the combination of that IPS panel with the ultra-wide resolution with a screen size that's that immersive and a screen that is curved adds up to something that is just truly mesmerizing. I mean, I said that in my reviews of the Acer Predator X34 and the PG348Q, which are both 34-inch ultra-wide monitors. And making that a little bit bigger, increasing the resolution, it really does help even more. And it's kind of weird because it's just all in front of you, it just immerses you, you're in the game, and it's really crazy. But the thing I really like about the monitor is just how good it is for my workflow. So for example, when I'm editing videos in DaVinci Resolve, I don't need to turn anything off. I don't need to hide anything. I can have every single thing I use to edit my videos on screen at the same time, so all the different windows, I can have the editors open, all of these things, and you've still got a massive timeline, and it makes things really easy. Obviously, because it is a curved display, this might upset people that work with straight lines, so do bear that in mind, but personally I think that having a curved display of this stature is a real boon to productivity. In terms of media consumption, well, the bad thing about ultrawides is that if you want to watch 16:9 videos, which things like YouTube and things like that obviously are, then you're going to have black bars, and I think it actually is really distracting. I really don't like it at all. But obviously if you are watching 21:9 content, then it looks absolutely fantastic. Sticking to YouTube, Ash Taylor, watch some of his work, and it is truly incredible, really. Because of course if it's shot at 4K, then this is pretty much native to this monitor anyway, because you obviously crop some of that resolution, and it just looks really, really fantastic. I really do advise you go and check this out in person if you can. So that's everything really you need to know from the media and productivity side of things. And obviously from a general use point of view, as long as you're using this monitor far enough away from you, you've got enough room on your desk for it, and you can properly use that screen real estate without it sort of being intrusive and having to look all over the place, then it really is a great option for you, and it will speed up your workflow. But obviously a lot of people are going to be looking at this from a gaming perspective, as it does have FreeSync technology, so it must be a good gaming monitor, right? Kind of. Unfortunately, the bad news outweighs the good news, and the good news is that this is the best gaming monitor I've seen in terms of visuals. Get a game up on this display, and as long as you can drive it at that resolution with the details cramped up, honestly, it's breathtaking. That is the only word I think I can use to properly use this. Mass Effect Andromeda, land on a new planet, get in the Mako, step out, Vista, oh my god, it looks crazy. It's so impressive. And expanding upon that from the graphics card point of view, 1080, GTX 1080, it wasn't really quite good enough to play Mass Effect Andromeda at this resolution without dropping the resolution scale down. A 1080 Ti was absolutely fine, and as long as your minimum frame rate was 60, you can get a fluid 60 FPS on whatever game you're playing, then it's going to look crazy. But there are a few issues that stop this from being a good gaming monitor. The main one really is input lag, and if you do want to play competitive games, then this just isn't the right monitor for you. Something like the PG348Q or the Acer Predator X34 is cheaper and it's more responsive. It supports G-Sync, it's 100 Hz. I think that's a better option for a lot of people. Whereas this, the input lag is a little bit too high. It has FreeSync tech, which I think was the correct decision, by the way, because you don't pay the G-Sync tax. But because you've got to run this at such a high resolution, at the time of filming, there aren't any AMD graphics cards that will be able to drive this at high details at this resolution at respectable frame rates, which means that realistically you're sort of limited to 480 or 580 crossfire if you really want to play games on this monitor without any compromise at all. So AOC, Acer, Asus, if you're listening, make a 38-inch version of this monitor, 100 Hz, G-Sync, and I'd buy it. Please do that. Now, before I get into full ramble mode and all my thoughts just sort of fall out on the floor, I think it's probably a good time to wrap this up. This monitor is visually the best I've used so far. For my workflow, it's fantastic, and if I could have an office where I only did video editing and I did maybe the odd bit of light gaming, then this would be the perfect monitor for me. But sadly, it's not. I play games competitively, I play first-person shooters, I play games with a mouse and keyboard, and it's just not really ideal for me. But if you're someone that doesn't play games, or you play maybe a bit of Civ 5, Company Heroes, something like that on the odd occasion, or if you play with a controller, then I think the gaming side of things is going to be absolutely fine for you as long as you do have a compatible graphics card that can drive this. And of course, for everybody else that doesn't give a toss about gaming, then this is one of the best monitors you can use. Just be aware that it is very big and it's very, very expensive. But as long as you're prepared to pay that, I think you're going to be rewarded with a monitor that will keep you going for a long time. Unless we start talking about HDR, because this monitor doesn't support that, which is something that a refresh of this monitor may well do. Overall, this does win the Top Performer Award. As it is quite expensive, well, it's very expensive, and there are a few things that hold it back for me personally, but when you think of the spec sheet, when you think of everything it can do and how friendly it is with Macs and PCs, then it's a brilliant option for productivity and maybe a bit of light gaming. A massive thank you to eBuyer for actually shipping this review sample out. I'll leave the link to the eBuyer store of this product down in the description below. It's really helpful. A massive thank you to you guys for actually getting this out for review. A massive thank you to Corsair as always for sponsoring the channel, and of course to you guys for watching this video. What do you think? Is this a monitor you'd be interested in? Would you like to see a gaming version of this monitor? I know I would. Let me know down in the comment section below. Like this video if you liked it, dislike if you haven't. Subscribe for more videos just like this, and click the eye over there or wherever it is to see some more monitor reviews. Thanks, and I'll see you in the next video.